Holding space is about showing up authentically and creating safety in the moments that matter most. From parenting littles to navigating friendships and partnerships, I reframe tantrums, conflicts, and messy feelings as invitations to connection. I'm Julia Clark, a psychotherapist and play therapist with over 30 years of experience walking alongside children, families, and the people who care for them. Each episode explores the building blocks of emotional literacy, co-regulation, and boundaries, while honoring the intergenerational stories we carry within. Blending science with lived wisdom, I believe growth is playful, healing is possible, and we are all learning together. Hi, I'm Julia, and together we're holding space. Today we're going deeper into what happens after we flip our lid, what it really means, why it happens, and how we can gently find our way back. Because the truth is, every relationship, whether with our children, our partners, or ourselves, has moments of rupture. And what matters most isn't whether we rupture, it's how we repair. What flipping your lid really means. Let's go back to Dan Siegel's hand model of the brain for a moment. So imagine your palm and wrist are your brainstem, your survival base. Your thumb is your amygdala, that's your emotional smoke detector, always on alert for danger. Your fingers, give them a wiggle. Folded over your thumb are your prefrontal cortex. That's the calm, thinking, problem-solving part of your brain that helps you stay connected. When we get overwhelmed, scared, or angry, that top layer, the fingers, flip up. Our thinking brain goes offline, and our emotional brain takes over. That's what we mean when we say flipping your lid. It's not bad behavior. It's a nervous system doing exactly what it's designed to do, protect us. That's the rupture moment. And with awareness, compassion, and regulation, we can move from rupture back to repair. The window of tolerance. Imagine your body has a window where you can handle stress, think clearly, and stay connected. Inside that window, you can feel big feelings and still stay grounded. But when you leave that window, you could go into hyperarousal, fight or flight. You might yell, slam a door, talk too fast, or feel your heart racing. Or hypoarousal is a freeze or shutdown response. You might go numb, withdraw, or feel disconnected and tired. Flipping your lid means you've stepped outside that window. And it's not a failure, it's information. It's your nervous system saying, I don't feel safe right now. The work isn't about never flipping. It's about noticing it sooner, pausing, and finding your way back home to safety and connection. A story shared by a parent. A dad once shared, every morning I'd lose it when my son was slow getting ready. I'd yell, then feel terrible all day. When we explored his story, he realized that as a child, he had been scolded for being too slow. His body had learned that slowness equals danger. So every time his son moved at a relaxed pace, the dad's nervous system read it as threat. Together, we practiced pausing and grounding, putting a hand on his chest, taking slow, deep breaths, naming, I'm flipping right now. One morning, he felt that same wave of frustration rise, but this time he caught it. He placed his hand on his chest and he said, this feels like a big morning. I need a breath before we keep going. His son looked up and whispered, me too. That moment shifted everything. The rupture became an opportunity for repair, two nervous systems finding their way back to connection. What do we do when we flip? Let's make it real simple. 1. Notice it. Oh, I just flipped. That's awareness. 2. Regulate. Step out of the room, take 5 slow breaths, Splash some cool water on your face or press your feet into the ground. Sometimes I like to place my hand on my heart and say quietly, I am safe, I can soften. 3. Repair. When you come back, name it honestly and gently. That got big for me. I needed a moment to calm my body so I could listen. Repair doesn't erase the rupture, it transforms it into trust. What this looks like in the real world. With a young child, your child throws themselves on the floor after you say no to another snack. You feel the heat rising in your own chest. Instead of reacting, you take a breath and whisper, my body feels hot right now too. I'm going to breathe before I talk. That was hard for both of us. We both had big feelings. That's repair, not control, but reconnection. With a partner, you're mid-argument about something small that feels suddenly enormous. You notice your voice getting sharper, your breath faster. You pause, hand on heart, and say, I'm flipping my lid. I love you. I can't hear you right now. I need 2 minutes. That moment of awareness, naming the rupture, invites safety back into the room. It lets your partner know the problem isn't them, it's your nervous system state. In the classroom, a teacher catches herself snapping at a student who keeps blurting out answers. She pauses, takes a breath, and says, I raised my voice just now. That was my lid flipping. Let's try that again. The room softens. Children learn not just what regulation is, but what it sounds like. In the playroom, a child reenacts a scene where a character yells or runs away. The play feels charged, fast, loud, big. I stay grounded, breathing slowly, and softly say, wow, that got really big for your body. Sometimes the child stops and breathes too. I might add, I can feel my heart beating fast when we play this part. Let's take a slow one together. That pause, acknowledging what's happening in the nervous system, brings regulation into the space without stopping the play. It's not about fixing or analyzing the story, it's about staying present inside it, so the child can safely explore the edges of intensity and then return to calm. That's rupture and repair through play. Turning rupture into repair at home. Here's a simple rhythm you can practice. Notice, my body feels tight. I think my lid's up. Name it. I need a moment to calm. Normalize it. Everyone flips sometimes. Repair it. I got big there. Let's start over. Every time you do this, notice, name it, normalize it, repair it. You're teaching your child, or your partner, or even your own nervous system that safety can return. And each repair expands our window of tolerance a little more. Teaching kids about flipping their lid. When calm returns, you can show the hand model and say, see how your fingers popped up? That's what happens when our feelings get too big. We can help them fold back down with a few breaths. For older kids or teens, you can use the same language, but with more agency. I can feel my lid opening. I'm going to take a break so I can talk kindly again. It creates a family culture where regulation is not weakness, it's leadership. In relationships and families, one of my favorite things is watching the shared language ripple through families. I've seen couples catch each other mid-argument with a simple lid check. I've seen parents and children hold up their hands across the room as a silent cue, as a way of saying, I need safety right now. It becomes a shorthand for compassion, noticing the body's story before the words spill out. Let's pause for a moment together. Inhale, exhale. Notice your own body. Where does flipping your lid show up for you? Is it heat in your chest? Tightness in your jaw? The urge to run or fix or shut down? Ask yourself, what does my body feel like when I leave my window of tolerance? What helps me find my way back? Who helps me repair when I can't get there alone? Because we don't repair in isolation. We repair through relationship, through safe connection, soft tone, steady breath, and presence. Flipping your lid isn't a failure. It's the body's way of asking for help. It's the doorway to repair, not the proof of disconnection. When we learn to recognize it in ourselves, our children, our students, or our partners, we open the possibility for something new. Safety, honesty, and reconnection. This is part of our Holding Space series, where we bring compassion and clarity into the messy human moments and remember that healing begins not in perfection, but in presence. If flipping your lid is something you're working on, you're in good company. This is the real work, learning to pause, soften, and return. Thank you for being here and for holding space with me.
If the content of this podcast really resonated with you and you'd like to go even deeper, I'd love to invite you to step into this work more fully. Beyond the podcast, there are many ways that we can connect. Individual therapy for your child, parent coaching or support for yourself, and deeper I Am sessions that explore intergenerational patterns. Additionally, I also offer webinar workshops and weekend retreats for parents, classes, intensive trainings and supervision for therapists, and large group presentations for educators or school presentations. Each are designed to help us hold space for the next generation of children in safe, attuned, and meaningful ways. You can learn more and explore what fits best for you at clarity.family.